The path of personal and professional growth demands more than talent or good intentions. It requires discipline, perspective, and a willingness to learn from every experience, changing, using humor intelligently, doing what is necessary, making decisions in uncertainty, and persevering in projects are pillars for progress. Each challenge confronts us with fears, habits, and beliefs we must overcome. Stoic philosophy, with its emphasis on action, perseverance, and clarity of purpose, offers practical lessons to face these challenges. These reflections explore how to apply those principles to live with greater effectiveness, resilience, and meaning. Let's begin. 1. Criticism as a sign of health. Criticism can be uncomfortable, but it is as necessary as pain in the body. It signals that something is not working well. A good leader needs trusted people who dare to tell the truth without embellishment. This requires creating an environment where openly expressing what is not going well is encouraged. Epictetus taught that sincere correction was an act of friendship, not offense. He said that pointing out a mistake is a service, just like a doctor indicating an illness to begin the cure. In his school, self-criticism was seen as a direct path to improving the soul and conduct. People who achieve great results know how to use negative feedback to improve. Without an honest flow of information, one risks living in a bubble, believing everything is fine when it is not. Sincere feedback allows detecting problems before they worsen and helps make better decisions. Surrounding oneself with critical voices does not mean tolerating pessimism, but inviting the identification of risks and errors to correct them. Ignoring reality does not make it disappear. Facing it with courage is the only way to move forward and build a solid course. 2. Legality and legitimacy are not the same. Being responsible and obeying the law does not always mean doing what is right. Legality is the set of rules that govern a society. Legitimacy, however, relates to ethics, goodness, and what promotes the common good. Seneca warned that what is legal does not always coincide with what is virtuous. In his letters, he noted that a life guided by reason and justice could conflict with human laws, as these change over time and according to interests, while virtue remains a universal standard for correct action. Some legal actions are morally unacceptable, and some illegal actions do not harm anyone and can be morally defensible. Those who rely solely on the law to justify their acts may fall into unethical behavior, exploiting legal loopholes for personal benefit. The boundary between legal and legitimate is blurred and changing, so it is worth reflecting before acting. At times, the most correct action may not be the most convenient from a legal standpoint, and vice versa. Integrity is demonstrated when, even without legal obligation, one chooses to do what is morally right. 3. Courage as the engine of all virtues. Courage is the quality that sustains all others. It means acting despite fears, obstacles, or pressures. It is not about feeling no fear, but moving forward in spite of it. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations that courage was not the absence of fear, but the decision to do what is just despite it. Facing the adversities of the empire, he reminded himself that duty must be fulfilled without waiting for perfect conditions, as the nature of life is to test the strength of character. Courage is expressed in decisive moments, when one must do what is right, even at personal cost. It means making difficult decisions and keeping course, even in adverse circumstances. It also means rejecting passivity. Inaction can be more dangerous than imperfect action. True courage is taking the first step, and then continuing, without being paralyzed by doubts. Each challenge overcome strengthens confidence and the capacity to face the next. Acting with courage is not impulsiveness, but conscious determination. When conditions are difficult, courage becomes the foundation on which resilience, perseverance, and the ability to inspire others are built. 4. Courage, to speak and to listen. Courage is not only standing up and saying what you think, it is also keeping silent and listening when necessary. Acting with bravery means choosing the right action for each moment, which sometimes means biting your tongue. Epictetus advised mastering the tongue as much as one's actions. He taught that the wise speak when they can add value and remain silent when their words will not bring good. In his view, true strength lies in listening with an open mind and responding only when reason, not vanity, dictates. Timely silence can prevent conflicts and shows self-control. It is not about suppressing the truth, but knowing when and how to express it, so it has the greatest impact. Listening attentively requires humility, as it means accepting that one is not always right. Admitting mistakes and correcting them strengthens credibility and trust. Even opposing opinions or criticism can contain something valuable. Prudence in speech and openness to listening are signs of maturity and leadership. In the end, both words and silence, well used, are powerful tools to positively influence others and make better decisions in any sphere of life. 5. Facing problems without making deals with them. Problems are not solved by ignoring them, they are faced. Running from them only increases the danger, while confronting them reduces their weight and impact. Initial fear often exaggerates difficulties, but they become smaller when action is taken. Seneca said that difficulties are the gym of the soul. Each challenge is an opportunity to strengthen virtue and resilience. He taught that fleeing problems is losing the chance to grow, and that only by facing adversity does one learn to live with serenity and self-mastery. Every obstacle overcome strengthens, providing internal resources for future challenges. Difficulties can be transformed into opportunities for growth and self-improvement. A major problem can be the perfect occasion to demonstrate ability and determination. Moreover, in complex scenarios, competition tends to be lower, increasing the chances to stand out. When facing any challenge, remember, problems are inevitable if you aim to achieve something valuable. The greater the difficulty, the greater the opportunity to learn and improve. The key is to persist, even when the situation seems extreme. Perseverance and decisive action are what allow one to overcome trials and emerge stronger. 6. To improve is to change. To be perfect is to change often. Nothing improves unless we improve ourselves. Change, though logical, often scares us because it forces us to face uncertainty, do what's uncomfortable, and wait for results that don't come immediately. Change involves 3 stages: sowing, creating, watering, maturing, and harvesting, consolidating. Skipping any of them comes at a price. Epictetus taught that true change is an exercise in inner discipline. He said you can't expect a harvest without prior work, and that lasting transformations require consistency even when results are not immediate. For him, avoiding effort also means avoiding the possibility of becoming better. Fear arises because the new is unfamiliar. Pain, because it forces us to leave comfortable habits. And impatience, because we want quick results. The key to facing change is having strong reasons to support it. When the motive is genuine, a person finds the energy to take the step and stay the course. Without clear motives, it's easy to remain in a safe harbor, avoiding the effort of venturing into open seas. True change requires conviction, commitment, and persistence. Understanding that the process will be demanding but the rewards will outweigh the initial discomfort. 7. A joke is a serious thing. A sense of humor is a powerful tool to ease tension, communicate difficult ideas, and connect with others. Used well, it allows delicate topics to be addressed with wit, creating openness and reflection. Seneca reminded us that even laughter can be a vehicle of wisdom. He believed that wit, used with prudence, helped correct without wounding. A sharp comment could open the mind more than a severe reproach, provided it aimed to improve and not to mock cruelly. Mental agility to respond with irony or unexpected remarks can diffuse attacks, neutralize conflicts, and make coexistence lighter. Intelligent humor doesn't humiliate. It highlights truths with elegance and surprise. It also helps maintain perspective in moments of pressure, preventing stress from draining all energy. Even in formal situations, a clever observation can break the ice and open the door to understanding. Humor is a sign of emotional intelligence. It requires listening, observing, and choosing the right moment to step in. Far from being frivolous, it's a communication and leadership strategy that, when used well, multiplies influence and creates an environment where ideas can flow. 8. Do what is necessary, not just what is possible. Saying we're doing our best doesn't guarantee results. Credibility depends not on effort or talent alone, but on the ability to generate real, visible value. Results are the only reliable indicator that things are being done right. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the worth of an act lies in its effectiveness, not in its intention. He reflected that it's not enough to try hard if the effort doesn't produce the intended good. Nature doesn't reward intention, but the correct, useful action for the whole. The market, clients, or those receiving a service don't evaluate intention, but the impact on their lives. Many talented people never stand out, and many who work hard don't either, because what matters is the combination of the right focus, efficient execution, and solutions that bring tangible improvement. To succeed, you must do what is necessary, not just what is comfortable or customary. This means adjusting strategies, correcting mistakes, and acting based on facts and data, not illusions. The discipline to face reality and adapt to it is what distinguishes those who achieve consistent results. 9. Deciding in uncertainty. A leader's true ability is shown when making decisions with incomplete, contradictory, or shifting information. Deciding involves risk, and it is precisely that responsibility that justifies the position of leadership. Seneca advised training the mind to decide calmly in the midst of the storm. He said, "Uncertainty is the natural condition of life, and that those who wait for absolute certainty never act. For him, the wise choose based on reason, even if the result can't be guaranteed. To decide well in difficult conditions, it's essential to have analytical tools that provide reliable data, as well as to draw on prior experience and intelligent counsel. Yet intuition also plays a key role, especially when time is short and not all factors are known. Making good decisions requires evaluating, reflecting, and being willing to act, even without full certainty. Preparation, continuous learning, and familiarity with the environment reduce difficulty and enable faster movement. The blend of analysis, experience, and sensitivity to subtle signals allows for effective decisions, even under pressure, turning uncertainty into an opportunity for progress. 10. Every project is a journey. Any project, whether writing a book, Launching a product or starting a business usually begins with enthusiasm and energy. Then, unforeseen obstacles appear, testing our persistence. Epictetus compared major projects to a sea voyage. The sailor who fears the waves never departs, and the one who gives up in the storm never reaches port. He taught that persistence is more valuable than initial momentum, because it's what carries you to the goal. At times, stagnation, fatigue, or the temptation to quit will come. Yet with steady work and patience, progress appears until the objective is reached. This process repeats in nearly all significant challenges. First enthusiasm, then difficulty, then overcoming, and finally satisfaction. No project is free from setbacks. In fact, they're part of the path. The important thing is not to stop and to keep your direction, even when the goal feels far away. Every step, however small, adds up. Even if perfection is never reached, steady progress is a source of pride. The value lies in enjoying the journey and learning from each stage, knowing there will always be another challenge ahead.